A few miles west of Tampa, along Florida's Gulf Coast, is the quaint seaside city of Dunedin. The city has been cracking down on code violations, collecting millions of dollars in fines over the past several years. Some homeowners say code enforcement has become so overly aggressive that it has buried them in crippling debt. The Supreme Court ruled recently that excessive fines by local and state governments are unconstitutional. But that begs the question, what qualifies as excessive? In other words, how much is too much?
I'm dealing with a situation with the city of Dunedin where they're asking $30,000 in fines because I was tardy 2 times cutting my grass. And when I opened the letter, I was just shocked. I was flabbergasted. I just couldn't believe that they had held a hearing without my presence and gotten only the side of the city inspectors and ended up fining me $28,500.
So it all started with the Hurricane Irma, which was a big hit here. So one of the trees at the back fell on the roof, on a part of a roof, and from there was a dent on the roof that needed to be replaced. I had somebody to come to remove the tree, but I was not able to find any local roofer to do the necessary job because it was such a tiny job. They charged me $200 a day for what they told me is for non-compliance.
My wife and I bought this house in mid-1985, and one of the first things we did was plant this really what turned into a gorgeous azalea hedge across the front property. When we moved away in 2012 and we're using this as a second home, we began to have problems with city code enforcement. It wasn't until the city attorney got the case and was moving toward foreclosure that they went on Google, I guess, and Googled my name and found us in Tallahassee and sent a letter and said either pay $30,000 or we're going to take your house. I think we were getting fined $200, $250 a day, I don't know. It almost seems like they were more interested in racking up a fine than gaining compliance.
Dunedin is not alone here. Local and state governments across the country, from small towns to big states, altogether collected $15.3 billion in fines in 2016. That's a 44% jump from a decade earlier. Dunedin city officials have fiercely denied any abusive practices. They say code enforcement keeps property values high and neighborhoods safe, and that the city has no desire to impose these large penalties. In a statement, the city said, "Our goal has been and remains to ensure that Dunedin is a high-quality community for our residents and visitors alike."
We followed the current law the way it sits, the law that we did not create and have no control over. But we can always do better, and we will.
The ability to impose fines is a key government power. In a criminal justice system, it's meant to punish bad behavior. But what happens when fines become more than just punishment? What happens when fines are so severe that they push people to financial hardship? Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg wrote this in the Supreme Court ruling on excessive fines. Protection against excessive fines has been a constant shield through Anglo-American history, for good reason. Such fines, the justice said, undermine other liberties.